Hi friends, today I'm going to take you from the back of the promenade onto the front. As we approach this parking lot on the left, I'm on my bicycle and I'm going towards the promenade. On the left is what is called Bonnie Street. We are passing that and going to the promenade. There's a lot of crowd here, including locals and tourists. As you can see, there is a amusement arcade on the left. At this point I had to slow down because the crowd became quite a lot. There is a police van to my right and you can see a small police car as well just ahead. I turn left and I'm on the promenade. I step out onto the road and now we are passing by some amusement arcades. A horse cart with a beautifully decorated carriage and the sea life attraction which I am going to visit the next day. At this point I've crossed over and I'm crossing past the tram area onto the public promenade, as it were, where people are either pedestrians or cyclists like me. On the opposite side you can still see the amusement areas. So that's where I turn right. I just want to go a little bit close to the attractions that we've just passed on the opposite side. That was Sea Life. And then we go further down. You can see the Blackpool Tower in the distance, and the black globular thing on my left that we've just passed is actually something that is put up there as a kind of tall item that sways with the wind. To the left, this hut is the Royal Navy's exhibition center where they sell products, and to the right ahead we can see the Coral Island, which is also a big amusement arcade, games arcade you can say. It also has a real casino. From here I turn around and we are pretty much going forward. I'm going to cycle all the way to Pleasure Beach today and then return home, obviously. We pass people of all age groups, all ethnicities, nationalities, and when you listen to these people you sometimes realize that they are speaking in a tongue that is not English but not Indian, Urdu, Pakistani either. Some of them are clearly from the continent that we call Africa. Okay, so this one is the Madame Tussauds at Blackpool. We have just passed that and we are now approaching what is called the Central Pier, which, like the North Pier that I've shown you in other videos, is also an entertainment center all by itself. As you can see, there are tourists lugging behind big suitcases. They have come to Blackpool to spend the next maybe 3 days, 7 days over here. So this then is the Central Pier on the right. The Pirates Bay is nothing but a bar and a cafe, but of course there are amusements here as well. Having passed Central Pier, oh excuse me girlie, we are now just turning around and I'll show you some of the things that are on Central Pier. So this one is called the Blackpool Eye. It's the giant wheel, but also there are other games. And then that is again an amusement arcade called the Fun Palace. At this point I'm going to show you there are lots of horse carts and they're all in business. You have seen 3 of them in this video. Now I will just go on for the next about 6 to 8 minutes, going all the way to Pleasure Beach and then returning. There's not much to talk about, but obviously you can see people walking past, and then at this point I kind of picked up speed because there was no traffic or no pedestrians. rather, and so I have gone a bit more quickly than I would normally go. When I cycle, my speed varies between a very leisurely 3 to 4 kilometers per hour to up to 20-22 kilometers per hour, and I think I was doing somewhere around that at that point of time. Okay, so still no people out here, and I am cracking it. The four structures on the left are just a decoration. That place is known as Manchester Square. I have no idea why. See to my right the clouds above and the concreted path, broad path, sometimes narrowed with repairs under my wheel. I've been cycling now for about 2.5 to 3 months, and especially try to do about 10 kilometers every day, though I didn't cycle today. That is on the day of recording, which is Saturday the 21st of August. Well, we are now well past the central pier, and you can just kind of see the South Pier and the Pleasure Beach far ahead. This section of the ride is actually marked by not many things to see, and the crowd has thinned out, but there will be a bigger crowd as we enter the area where the South Pier is located. But in the meantime, enjoy the ride. As you can see, there is a little bit of slanting ground here, and I have decided to take this slant just to enjoy the ride. It's a very shallow slant, but there will be slanted pathways ahead, and when we reach there I will point them out to you. As you can see, children enjoy walking on the parapets and on the stone seats. It was a gloomy, misty sky with hardly any sunlight as well. Hardly any, shall I say, sun being visible. So this is the kind of slant, and I've gone up on this, as you can see. And this is pretty easy actually, because the way the ground is designed, it is kind of rough, and so the cycle tires grip it quite well. And so I'm going on top of this. I try not to inconvenience pedestrians, and you will see in a moment that kind of a white obstruction that comes, so that I have to go down at this point and then proceed further at the same high level. And you can see that you can actually just go down a bit on the slant and come back up without actually losing balance. And this is really an interesting thing to do. I was a bit scared when I first did it, but I can see now that it is more or less harmless to do this. I think at the very end of what you can see the South Pier, and you can see something that looks like an inverted V, which is one of the rides of Pleasure Beach, to which I will come a little later. Right, so that's the tram on my left. You can see these trams arrive at the frequency of almost every 6 to 10 minutes. And apart from the regular trams, we also have heritage trams, and we have illuminated trams when the illumination begins sometime in late September. This is an annual event that's been going on for donkey's years, and the Blackpool Illuminations are something that people come from all over the world to see. On my rides, you can see on the road side, you can see already that there are decorations hanging from the street lights, and these are present 365 days of the year, but they get illuminated in a special kind of way once the Blackpool Illuminations get underway. Again, I am on one of these slants, as you can see, and enjoying it. And even more enjoyable is when you actually get down from the slant almost at a degree of 45, and when you reach the ground level you get a slight bump in your bottom, which is only to be expected. So one more of that attempt, going past the barricade as well as people without actually going down all the way. Well, at the end of this, again I'm going to go down almost 45 degrees, as you can see now. 1, 2 and 3, and you can see the cycle camera shaking because I landed with a slight bump, but I didn't fall. It was fine. This is the last section of the promenade that I plan to visit today, and I am now approaching, within the next 15-20 seconds, the South Pier, which has some interesting amusement rides as well. Especially I would show you this one, which is just coming up now. There are people seated there at the height, and you can see that it is going up and down, attached to pillars on both sides. We come to the near end of the promenade, and the South Pier is right on my right. This brown kind of structure on the left is actually a stage which is currently closed, but it does have musical programs sometimes. The South Pier is a place where I have never actually gone in, but I assume it will be as interesting or as uninteresting as the other two piers. Blackpool, by the way, is one of the rarest of rare towns on the seaside all over the UK, which has 3 piers: the North Pier, constructed first, the Central Pier, and the South Pier. These flags basically are indication of a ride that I will show you a little ahead. You can now see the Pleasure Beach ride on the left, and the protruding yellow kind of things just ahead are nothing but the rides belonging to Sandcastle Water Park. Sandcastle Water Park is kind of compact, not like the large water parks that you have seen in other parts of the world. For my Indian friends, I think they will recall SL World, which is really huge. But this one has quite a few rides, and people who've been there and who have spoken to me have told me that it is quite enjoyable. The water is usually heated, but it is seawater here as well. So that big ride that you see on the left is called the Big Max, and it is the second tallest ride in the UK as of now. Until recently it was the tallest one, but I believe that a taller ride than this one has now been developed somewhere in the Midlands. Okay, so we have arrived at Pleasure Beach to my left, and I'm going to now begin to go back. While going back, you can see the Sandcastle Water Park right ahead, the blue pyramid-like structures, and you can also see some pedestrians here, a lot of parked cars, as this is the parking complex. As I go out of this, you can see the Pleasure Beach right ahead now. I am going to go past the go-kart area where children and adults are enjoying a ride in go-karts. I'm going to show you that in about another 30 to 40 seconds. But before that, I'm going around this pyramidal area, and I espied a family that was trying to take group photograph, and it looked like the man, who was all by himself with almost 10 or 15 women and children, was struggling to take their picture. Obviously he could not be in the frame, as he was going to take the picture with his mobile. And at this point I took notice of them and I requested the man to hand me the mobile so that he can join the photograph as well. So this is the man, and I have slowed down here, and obviously my point of view and the camera's point of view are different, so you will only see part of the group. But I requested a man to join there, and I held his mobile and took a few photographs for them, and they were very happy with them. As you can see, they are mostly women and children, and even among the children I think most of them are girls. So that was my helping hand to the group. I in fact did suggest that that girl who was right at the extreme right of the frame move in so that she's more in the center of the action. So these photographs have been taken. I shouted cheese, they all smiled, and now they have begun to go away. The man has retrieved his mobile and they're all on their way, and I'm on my way as well. So now I'm going to go past the go-kart area that is just ahead of me. As you can see, there are already some go-karts going there on the right. Unfortunately I could not stop there, but I am about to exit from this covered area, going past the go-karting, and now you can see it quite well. And there is a rubber castle there as well. Children climb on that, and they usually jump and go up and down and like a trampoline kind of thing. And so I am coming out onto the promenade again where the South Pier is, and at this point I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. I hope you enjoyed the narration and the video. Thank you for visiting. Bye bye, and have a great evening or day or night ahead. Do look out on my YouTube channel for more videos. Search for www.youtube/Dr. Taher, DrTaher. Thank you.